Witchtok has taken over TikTok with millions of views. Crystals, spells, and rituals are everywhere. But is this modern witchcraft empowering a new generation, or does it lead people astray? Today we'll be diving into Witch Talk to uncover the truth. So stick around because you might find a little bit interesting what we found. Now, people might not know about TikTok. I know I did not. So, Witch Talk was a complete mystery, to be honest. Now, what is it? So, Witch Talk is a subculture of TikTok. So, and the creators there share their witchcraft practices. It would be spell, tarot, astrology, all under the hashtag Witch Talk. And like I said before, it has millions of views. So a very, very big phenomenon. It's mainly fueled by the Gen Z, that generation, that group of people, and because of their interest in spirituality, feminism, and aesthetic. Now, this whole TikTok thing, it's kind of a disclaimer on my part. Um, I know very little of it. The name, of course, like pretty much everybody, but I've never been really interested in the TikTok thing. So, with no knowledge of TikTok whatsoever, I came across the witch talk phenomenon. So, when I saw that, I actually had to go and take a look. Here's what I found. First, I have to say, I think it was a positive. I had a positive view anyway of what was going there because uh, actually, Witch Talk empowers young women and marginalized groups by reclaiming witchcraft as a tool for self-expression and healing, which that is great. Really, really like that. Now, it's a powerful tool for community building, and the creators share tips on different things: manifestation, self-care, spirituality. So it really foster a sense of belonging. So, for example, there's somebody, and I quote here, somebody said, "Witch talk helped me find my power." So I saw that in the comment, which is a good thing. If actually it helped, good. That's a good thing to do. Sorry. So Witch talk, like talk, is very accessible, but Witch talk, what it does, it actually makes esoteric practice approachable. So it teach beginners about tarot, herbs, moon phase, it all in short, digestible video. For example, I saw a creator that um, shared a mental health focused ritual. That's a good thing. I like that. I like that idea. So it blends, really, Witch Talk blends spirituality with wellness. That's a good thing. And as the saying goes, um, great mind thinks alike. The channel here, Grove Cat, was created with that idea in mind to help new people, new pagans, new people with that spirituality to navigate into the esoteric world. So there's one thing though, and it's pretty much a huge red flag. So what I saw there was what is known as cultural appropriation. What I mean by that is that a lot of creators on TikTok trivialized sacred practice from indigenous or close to traditions by turning them into a trend. Well, to me, that diminish the importance of those practices, the years of practice that is needed to achieve their goal. So at this point, that is a big, big no-no for me in my book. There's no way I can see that as a positive thing at all. Now, there's another thing that on my very short time that I've been there, um, I saw some inaccurate spell instruction or overhyped claims. For example, this spell guarantees love. Well, please, guarantees. Really? Okay. Well, okay. What I find there with this is that it can mislead vulnerable viewers to a point of discouraging them to continue in the esoteric world. And I don't think that's cool at all because if your spell is guaranteed to find something, if people are doing it and it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, people may go and say they probably won't say, "Oh, it's your fault." No, they will say it's my fault. I'm not able to do this. So I'm going to disregard all esoteric because I can't do it, which that's not a good thing at all. Now, another thing that I saw, which another thing that I would say got me a little bit concerned is that there's some overpriced witch kit, as they call it, or crystals. Now, this actually raised a concern about exploiting spiritual seekers. Now, I get it. Everybody wants to have, like, make a buck or two. I agree with that. It's okay. There's no problem there. But where the problem lies, in my opinion, is that why not just show them how to do it? And then, if, well, you can offer your kit afterwards, saying like, okay, this is how you can do it, but if you don't want to go through the hassle of bringing everything together, I have this kit here for you. That would be a better way to do it, I think, and it would definitely alleviate any, well, exploitation, because that is what I think it should be called. Now, this one, it's half half funny, half worried. I placed this one for this reason. Okay. I saw some conservative slash religious extremist groups, commentators, labeling witch talk as promoting occultism and or demonic practices. So it it fuels a backlash, that's for sure. But for this one, like, I'm pagan myself. I had to deal with those comments. Okay. Anything from, oh, are you running naked in the forest? Or do you worship the devil type of deal? To a neighbor here who, well, found it was a good idea to remove my cat from the world because, well, he figured cats are Satan's spawn and anybody that were helping or liking cats were devil worship. Okay, I get it. It's not everybody that's like that. He was a special nutcase, but that's different. Now, what my concern is if you are exposing yourself in witch talk, there's one point where you will get this assault. You will have this. Even the viewers that start doing whatever practice that they were going for, and at this point they go and say, okay, then they get this assault. There's no other words for it from people that are not too bright, in my opinion, or certainly are willing to hurt people. Now, a lot of the people that you have on Witch Talk are younger, and a lot of them are going there for mental health. So that definitely concerns me in that sense because you have it will happen if you go into the pagan world, witch world, whatever you want to call it. um, you will have those assaults. Okay, so be ready for it. There's different ways to do it. Like I'm older, so I have a thicker skin, I guess, because I've had to deal with that a long time. So it goes from ignoring them to, well, outright calling the cops on them. So depends on what it is. So as an older practitioner in myself or seasoned practitioner, um, I see something in this whole witch talk that is very similar to other events in time. For example, there's it's I think it's a cultural shift that witch talk is creating, and this cultural shift is quite similar to the '60s with the hippie. What I mean by that is that the Gen Z, just like in the '60s, they're turning into spirituality, okay, for for meaning in their life and for because of global challenges, talking about climate change, talking about mental health crisis. So and in the '60s was war. So that's pretty much the same. Both in the '60s and with the Gen Z, they have a really distrust in institutions. And I don't blame them, but that's what it is. That's what's happening there. Now, so that's one part of the historic section of it. So what I find also is that there's with witch talk, the one thing that is there that really kind of is that it democratized the occult. And what I mean by that is that makes the whole esoteric very, very accessible to a point that it's diluting the tradition. So you have the same thing that's happening in astrology, for example, that before people had to manually calculate all what's all what's have to be calculated in there, and I'm not an astrologer, so I'm not good at math. So but I know that it was done by hand. Nowadays, you can go and be assisted with AI and boom, you have it. It's done. So really, really at this point, it really and I don't really have the proper words to say it, but what I think is that It's, it doesn't give the experience that is needed to be offering that type of help or that type of um, practitioner to practice your whatever you do. Would it be druid, witches, or whatever in between, or beyond that? Okay, so you get my point. The main idea is that it dilutes everything, and by diluting everything, what's happening is that in the future, I don't think it will evolve as being a lasting spiritual movement. So it's most likely, and I think it's going to be a fleeting trend. I may be wrong, but if I compare it with what happened in the 70s, that's more my time when I started. eh, Everything was going on at the same time. People were awakening to crystals, to meditations. It was everywhere. And now, really, it's diluted to a shadow of itself. So, if even that movement that was, I think, even bigger than what is Witchtok now, um, I don't think it will. I don't think it will last. And because of that, what's going to happen when it's going to get so diluted that it will fade away, just like in the 70s, just like in the 70s era? So, how will people there will be able to grow their practice through witch talk if there's none left? You can always come to places like Grovecat for sure and ask the questions in the comments, for example, and definitely will help you out. Or at least if I cannot answer because I don't know it, like I said, I'm not a big, like, I don't know much about astrology, but I know people that will be able to help you. So that's stuff like that. Is that is a good thing. All right. So really, is after seeing all this, after hearing all this, is witch talk actually empowering a new generation of witches, or is it a dangerous trend that has gone too far? The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Like, as a druid, I look for the middle most of the time, for the neutral place. And I think the truth lies somewhere in there. It will continue. It will continue for a while, but it definitely um, will fade away at one point. And it's going to be on you, the people on Witch Talk, or even if you're just a follower there, um, to do your own research properly on the subject and have trusted sources to be able to help you out in the long run. But anyway, I would like to hear from you. I'd like you to put some comments down there, like, subscribe, all that jazz that all the sites are asking you to do. Um, just be sure to do it, just because, well, we're doing different things here. We are exploring as wide of a subject that is the esoteric world as much as we can. As for an example, next video will be going over a book that I've read a long time ago. It's only in French, so for English speaking, you will have to go down there and get that translator thingy if you don't know French. And and the reason why it's going to be in French is because Chantal will be here, and as you know from her presentation, from her interview, she's not comfortable in talking English except if it's not one on one. So That's the reason why it's going to be in French. Anyway, the title of the that book is in English. There is no such thing as chance. And I can tell you that reading that book actually changed a lot of things how I see the world. So don't miss it. There you go. Oh, by the way, the author is Carl Otto Schmidt. So if you want to look it up, you can, and maybe try to find find a link that you will be able to translate. Anyway, in the video, I'll post one at that. So thank you very much for listening to the end, and well, take care and see you then.